Buenos días. Ya estamos acostumbrados que todo abre Claudia. Mil gracias a todos, a todas, a Claudia, a We All Humans, a Latinos por estar aquí hoy. Thinking which language should I speak today? But first what I want to say, we're here at the United Nations and esto es su casa. This is your house. If you feel that this is something that you can use, if you feel that we're sufficiently supportive, come back, use it, and just be as at home. We're very happy to see you here. Hispanic community, 60 million people, and all this energy which we felt yesterday. This is really something which is very, very necessary. Once again, many thanks to Well Humans to organizing all this movement, and many thanks to Claudia's energy for doing all that. Now, I'm also encouraged to see how Well Human Foundation embrace the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. I think every time more in time we're thinking about different frameworks, and SDGs today is a framework, and that they were launched by the United Nations. They have this fantastic branding, and I think what we're encouraging you also to think about sustainability of Latinos in this country, sustainability of Latinos in the world, and think about SDGs in everything what you do. We also loved the Hispanic Star Ready to Shine initiative that was launched here at the United Nations. I think we're very proud to see it. And that's, I think, a great example how to encourage the leadership in your communities. So, but back to the SDGs. I think we also want to invite you to think about the next year to come. For us, it's a very important year. UN is going to be 75. Well, not a very young age, but time to think and somehow time to revitalize. So we're facing a very interesting challenge launched by the Secretary General, because what he said, don't think just about one event, about fireworks, about some things, some receptions. You can do all that, but as long as you're going to launch a world dialogue all around the world, not just about the past and what happened in 1405 and why UN was formed, but about the future that people want to have. And this is a direct link to all of you. So it's all about the future, and it's all about the young people, and it's all about what is the planet that you want to have, what is the world that you want to have, what are the rights that you want to have, what about health, what about education, what about all these things. And that should lead us in one way or another to the thinking on the one hand about history, what happened, what happens with multilateralism, we do believe in it, and back to the SDGs, because many of the things that we're talking today are within the SDGs. So this world dialogue, which we're trying to launch with multiple partners, and we would love to have you as a partner, and we would invite you to think also how in what you do to somehow entail this big idea. There is a website, you can easily find it, it's un.org/75. There is a communication strategy there, and particularly there is a very short questionnaire, just 3 questions. It's going to be developed a little bit more, and there is a way to join this dialogue through the events that you are carrying, but also through social media and through everything what you do. And I think the Latino voice is also a very important one within this world dialogue. Now, I mentioned a few times the SDGs, and I think what we feel here is there were Millennium Goals. Of course, they were very ambitious, but they were kind of UN Millennium Goals, and here is the world. But today we have SDGs, and I think the big success of the UN, that SDGs are really known by everybody and really embraced by everyone. And there is a lot of discussion about sustainability in all spheres of the world. Also, you know our branding, you know our very colorful wheel, sort of a rainbow, not exactly a rainbow. You know the icons. And today, wherever I go in the private sector around the world, I just returned on Sunday from Japan, and I was really amazed because in every business stand of every company, SDGs are somehow present. But it's not just about being present. Take them, use them, think about what you do. It is very much about acting. Because actually when we think, it's all very nice, but there are only 10 years left to be achieving some results. So I think the Secretary General of the United Nations is moving us more and more to what we call decade of action. Let's see what and how we should be doing to move the world a little bit closer to the fulfillment of the SDGs. And that's, I think, our second invitation. What I wanted to also to say that let's think about every single part within those SDGs, and I think climate is something which is, again, very high up on our agenda. We know how climate change today influences migration, influences human rights, influences refugee, moves of people, influences access to food, to water, etc. Let's also think about it. Now we're in the middle of COP25, which is happening in Madrid. The COP26 is going to happen in Glasgow and in Edinburgh. And again, we're all living through the climate change. It's one of the major influences, and this is something very big priority for us, but maybe also linked to what you do. And back to Latinas, gender, gender, and gender. We have a list of questions, and every time when I see this slide on PowerPoints, I think there will be a gift. The list is 10 countries which achieved gender equality. And every time you think, okay, now there will be some Nordic countries which are going to appear, but actually nothing appears because none of the countries in the world have achieved what we're expecting to be achieved on gender issues. How many Nobel laureates do we have today? About 66 or 68, while there are 866 male. And we all know all sorts of issues connected with gender, of course, different in the US and different in other countries, but keeping in mind that we're still very far from achieving what we would like. So the spirit of Latinas, very important to us. The energy of Latinas is very important to us. Please join what we do also on gender issues, and let's rely on all of you. So once again, welcome. Multilateral approach, I think that's what also we're offering you, and we hope you will embrace. UN 75, climate, SDGs, these are all the frameworks for you to be successful. And once again, welcome and be at home. Esto es su casa, and hope to see you again.